Hi everyone, how you all doing? Fireboy, Khan, Doomsday, Good Times, Jess, Big Bash. It's great to see every single one of you. It really is, as always. I don't know if you can hear behind me, but it is so windy out. Like, so windy that you can actually hear it. Let me just get my setup all ready here. There we go. Notes and everything here. Okay. Robin says, "How you doing, Eric?" I'm doing good, buddy. Thank you very much for asking. I was did feel quite tired today, so I almost didn't want to do the stream. So that's why I thought, you know what? Rather than forcing talking about other stories, because it is quite a light week on stories. I thought I would do one main story that we can talk about, and then we'll do the Q&A where you can ask me anything you want. And usually we have a lot of fun with the Q&As. So yeah, that's what I will be doing today in today's stream, because it is quite a slow news week, so there's not really much to talk about, I'd say. So yeah, and as always, if you want to donate, there are options to do so. You can do it via the Streamlabs or Super Chat, and I've got a link pinned in the comment section and the description if you want to donate through that. Like I said, all donations go towards supporting the channel, so they'll be greatly appreciated if you do that. Speaking of which, how could I forget? Saying that, I just remembered. The book, as always, that I always write the donations down in. So yeah, let's just get to where I'm supposed to be. There we go. So I've got that all ready. Ah, Sarah, it's great to see you here too. Thanks for joining the stream. Let's see. Elite. The name Elite is going to be revamped into a new name. Just letting you know, Eric. And how are you today? Oh, well, be sure to let me know that it's you when you do revamp the name. Shame, because I actually did like the name Elite. It was a very nice name, I thought. Whenever I would say it, I would know it was you. Okay, so yeah, Selena, Robin, Khan. It really is great to see all of you guys again, so thank you very much for joining the stream. So yeah, we'll wait for a few more of you to come in, and then we'll get straight to the story. The Harry Potter story. I don't know how many of you have heard about that. But it is quite a doozy right now. Also, by the way, I was looking into recently how to live stream with the Steam Deck, like, you know, onto Twitch. Look, that's a bit dusty. I'm surprised. I've only not been using it for like 3 days or something. I'm surprised dust can already make its way onto here. But anyway, yeah, the Steam Deck. I actually was looking into how to stream on this. I was actually thinking, how can you stream, like, live stream onto Twitch with this? And turns out there is a way, so I'm going to consider playing maybe a game that I would play and maybe streaming it for you guys on Twitch or maybe through YouTube. So make sure that if you're interested in that you follow me that you subscribe, of course, if you haven't. And also make sure that you follow me on Twitch. I've got all those links in the description below, and you'll be able to watch me play on this whilst you guys see just the gameplay on the screen. So I'm considering doing that. Let's see, what are you guys talking about in the chat? Batman's Gamer says, I feel like the new Harry Potter series is going to be more modern. Well, that's what it seems like, which is unfortunate. You don't need to make it modern. I thought studios would be realizing now that they're going to have to try to move away from that, because Disney have been leaning into it so hard. So yeah. Velka says, have you watched the new trailer of How to Train Your Dragon remake? What are your thoughts? Yeah, I've mentioned my thoughts, I think, about a week or two ago. I was not very impressed with the How to Train Your Dragon trailer. It looked very much like the animated movie, but it felt like even the dragons, they looked like they were still animated, but just not in the DreamWorks kind of way. So I'm like, yeah, you're making a live action version, but it still looks very much exactly the same as the animated version. So what's the point? Because these are still, they don't look real. They still look like cartoon characters, all these dragons. So I didn't like, I'm not convinced. That being said, I do think I like who they got for Hiccup. I thought they did a good job with that. I like who they got for his father. They got the actual voice actor, Gerard Butler, to come in and play him, so that's good. The girl playing Astrid, because she's mixed race. I think she's white. Was she black and white? Is she like a mix? So she's supposed to be mixed race. I don't mind the actress. I think she's light skinned enough, so that's okay. What I do mind is her hair. They should have made it blonde, but they didn't. They just made it black, or for some reason. It's like, come on, you guys should be onto the details like that. It's ridiculous that I should be telling you you should make her blonde. You should know that already. Khan says, honestly, Eric, the whole race-changing characters just feels like it was just causing a stir for no reason. It does feel like that. It feels like they're doing it just to cause controversy and then to play the victim. It's like they should just be done with that at this point. Okay, so we'll talk about that story right now. Go ahead and talk about Harry Potter. Okay. Oh, before we do, I'm just gonna say the tip goal that we had for Edward Scissorhands, it was so close to being finished, pretty much. But it's been another week. No donations through Streamlabs have come in to kind of like top it. So I think we're gonna put an end to it now, basically, and call it quits with this one. So this particular goal didn't work out, but maybe in the future another one will. So yeah. Okay then. So time to get into the story. Oh, give me a second. I just got to readjust this here. All right. Okay then. So Harry Potter, as for those of you that don't know, is getting a HBO show on Warner Brothers streaming service, their HBO streaming service. It used to be called HBO Max, but now they've called it just Max. So basically, they're going to have a new Harry Potter show going on that, and also going on the HBO channel. And what they want to do is they want to, of course, remake the Harry Potter books, except they're going to try to make them closer to the books. Although from what I've been hearing, it sounds like they're going to also make it very different from the books as well, and I'll get into that later. So we are hearing news about casting, and they're casting everyone right now, and one of the people they're casting is Professor Snape. And for Professor Snape, they've decided to do, what we've, to be honest, all of us have never liked. And that is, they're looking to race swap him. And the person they're going to race swap him with is this fella right here. His name is, now, forgive me for this, but his name is Papa Esiadu. I don't know how to really pronounce that, so that's hard to pronounce. So yeah, as you can see right here, this is the guy they're going to try to hire to play this guy right here. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that they want to cast someone that looks like, someone that looks like this. It looks so different from Professor Snape. He hasn't even got long hair. I don't even know if they're going to maybe give him the long hair or not, but it's just like, he just doesn't really do it. Like, instantly you can look at him and say, that's not Professor Snape. I saw an interview footage of him on Graham Norton, and he seems like a fairly nice guy. Like, there's nothing personally I have against him. It's just, this is not what you see as Professor Snape, but they want to race swap him. And I thought we were Hollywood were trying to move past this, but no, it looks like they're still trying to do it. And as you can see, the media is going into full swing. As you can see over here, read the headline of the first one. The Harry Potter remakes Snape casting news is a great sign for the HBO show. Now, when they say that, it's clearly because they are they are for the race swapping all the time. But then you read this as well over here. Harry Potter trolls, see, they're calling you trolls, are not thrilled with the casting of Severus Snape, which they call woke. That doesn't make them trolls, because didn't they actually? Everyone was calling people trolls for not liking Rachel Zegler as Snow White, or for not liking all the forced race bending that Disney have done. But now, people are all calling Disney on it and saying, yeah, it was all was all insincere diversity. It wasn't sincere the way they did it. And it's like, so you're calling people trolls at the beginning, but now you're saying, yeah, it wasn't good. I don't get why they keep doing this. It's like they're vehemently against the people that call this woke and say that it's forced diversity. They say, no, it's not. You're just a troll. Then years later, they're like, yeah, it was false diversity. It wasn't done well. It's like, well, why aren't you saying it now? So when I see articles like this, it's one of those things where right now they're saying it's great. Later, they'll probably say, yeah, it wasn't good. Like years later. And if this show bombs because they start race bending characters and maybe gender swapping them, I wouldn't put it past them. They'll again call people toxic for saying they don't like it, but then later on when the show fails, they'll say, yeah, here's the reasons why it failed. So it's like, you can never trust the media. You can never trust the media anyway. That's a rule for life. Never trust the media. And here, this is just them being assholes again. So, plain and simple right there. But yeah, I don't like this casting, like, just generally. You guys know I don't like race swapping. I think there's good ways of doing it, like in Commissioner Gordon and Selena Kyle. Those were very good examples of it being done. But then there are very bad examples, and Commissioner Gordon in The Batman, played by Jeffrey Wright, and Selena Kyle, played by Zoe Kravitz, is a very good example. Even in the Flash show, they made Iris a black woman. That was fine, because she's not such a mainstream character. You can get away with it. But characters like this, where people have such a clear vision of what they are, and they've imagined them in their heads when reading the books, you need to find someone who's similar to that. Now, a modern casting choice that a lot of people wanted to play Professor Snape, and I actually thought I would agree with that, the choice, is they wanted Adam Driver to play Professor Snape. And this is a fan picture right here, where someone says new series streaming 2024, but as you can see, we're coming to the end, of 2024, it's not going to happen. But that looks like it works. I see that, and I'm like, yeah, that is a very good idea. That looks like a new modern-day Professor Snape. Batman's Gamer says he literally looks like Severus Snape. Exactly, he does. Everyone has been saying this. His hair and everything looks very similar to Alan Rickman. And he is, I've not seen him in too many movies, but he was one of the better elements of the Disney sequel Star Wars trilogy. So for him to play Professor Snape, it's like, yeah, that he seems to fit it right there. So why don't you cast him? Instead, they're casting this guy, and you do not see Snape when looking at him. And if you listen to his voice, I'm sure he can put on an accent. I listened to his voice on an interview. He doesn't sound like him either. So it was just them doing it for the sake of doing it. That's all it is. And I really hope that they are gauging what the reaction is right now. And I really hope they say, you know what, we're not going to do it. And I hope they do get Adam Driver in and they get him to, to do the role. I really hope they do. Like, seriously, I don't like when they keep doing this stuff. So they seriously need to sort it out. Big Bash says, what does his voice sound like, Eric? Well, search his name. I'll put his name in the chat. Give me a second. You don't have to search it now, but you can search it when the stream is over or when we take a break or something. But search that on YouTube, and you will then be able to see what he sounds like. And I'm sure he can put on a different accent, but I don't look at that guy and think that's Professor Snape. It's a ridiculous choice. Now, they should have made him play Kingsley Shacklebolt. He's the character that was in, for those of you that don't know, he was in the fifth Harry Potter movie, where he says, I know you won't like it, Minister, but you can't deny Dumbledore's got style. That guy. That's Kingsley Shacklebolt. He had a much bigger role in the books, and they could have got him to play that. I could see him playing that. But Professor Snape? That makes no sense to me. So, yeah, I'm not convinced with what they've done. Also, if Adam Driver didn't play him, I think Benedict Cumberbatch could have. I think Adam Driver is the better candidate, but if they wanted, they could have done Benedict Cumberbatch, because he's got a very good, cold kind of voice that he had as Khan. He even sounds like Alan Rickman. He could put on a very good impression. So I think they should get either one of those two. Either Adam Driver or Benedict Cumberbatch. One of the two is what they should have done. But I would say Adam Driver. But casting this guy, it feels like they are only doing it for the diversity. So they can say, see, look how diverse we're being. So, yeah, it seems like you guys are agreeing with me too. It's like, so those are the two actors that I would put up for the role. I don't know why they're picking him. The only reason they're picking him is, of course, because they just want to put in some forced diversity. That's why. And I think there are much better people to cast for something like this. And that is very important that they cast the right person, because they want this to go on for all 7 seasons. And you're not going to make it past season 2 if you, at this rate, just keep messing up the like simple choices at this point. So yeah, I really hope they don't screw it up, but I have no faith in them that they. I have no faith in them when it comes to stuff like this. They just seem to be blinded when it comes to stuff like this. So yeah, I really don't like that. Big Bash says, can Benedict Cumberbatch grow long hair? It doesn't matter if he needs to grow it. He can just have a wig if they really want him to. I'm trying to think. Has he grown longish hair? We have seen him with long hair a bit, like as Doctor Strange. Did he have long hair as Doctor Strange when he was acting like when he lost all his money and was pretty much a bum trying to sort his hands out? I think he did have a bit of a wig on then. So yeah, I think they can make it work. But instead they're going for the race bending choice. So yeah, Selena says, is Adam Driver American? I don't know what he is. Yes, he had long hair, says Mr. P. So Benedict Cumberbatch has had long hair in the first Doctor Strange movie. So yeah, they could just make it, make the long hair black and all that, and it'll fit, it'll work. So yeah, I think there are many ways they could have gone with this, but unfortunately they didn't go with it. They decided to say, you know what? Let's just cast for diversity reasons. And honestly, those are the kind of things that you can't be doing to such a classic like this. I mean, my concern all this time is that they were going to make Hermione. They were going to race bend her, because in the play, the Harry Potter play that was happening on stage, they actually did race bend her. So I'm thinking they're going to probably try to do the same, but they can't do it with that, and they can't do it with this. And when you read these dumb articles and these dumb headlines, I actually read some of the article as well. They say it's great because it was predominantly white characters. So it's great to put a black person front and center. And I'm like, but thing is, know where to do it. Know what you are adapting. If it doesn't fit because the characters are just very much indelibly remembered as these white actors, then just cast white actors. It's not like you're destroying something if you like something is not going to work unless you put in some diversity in there. Pick your battles, I would say. It's like, pick the ones where it works, but don't forcefully shove it in. That's why diversity has such a bad name, and why people are just so sick and tired of it, is because they force it in the worst ways. There's a good way to put extra diversity in, but then there's a bad way, and they are constantly doing it the bad way, to the point where it just feels like you just have some negative thoughts whenever you hear about diversity, because they've forced it in so many terrible ways. So yeah, I hope this is just a rumor, but it seems like they're zeroing in on him, and they've given him the offer from what I've heard. Andrew Edit says, it's on the nose so much. Yeah, it is on the nose. And yeah, speaking of on the nose, I feel like Snape has a very thick pointed nose. This guy just looks very generic. He looks like he could have been one of the actors to play the Doctor Who. They said they were going to cast a black actor. Maybe I can't remember what that guy looks like, but in my mind, when I looked at him, I was like, I don't see Snape. I see more of that other Doctor Who they did, the black Doctor Who. So yeah, this is a poor choice, a very poor choice, what they're doing here, if they do go with him. And they really should, go with the castings that I've mentioned. Adam Driver, and they should also go with Benedict Cumberbatch. Or maybe a brand new actor that has got a lot of Snape-isms to him. But going with who they're going with, I just don't see it, guys. I really don't. I don't know what they're doing. If they want the show to last for those 7 seasons that they're going to want to do it, they can't be making dumb decisions like this. They gotta be making smart decisions. The Crazy Gamer says, this guy should not be Snape. I totally agree with you. So yeah, I don't like what they're doing here. What do you guys think? You let me know what you guys think. Selena says, I mean, this is by J.K. Rowling, who spoke out about trans people. Yes, so I don't think you're going to get any trans actors in there. But she is the kind of person that also, changed stuff. So she says Dumbledore was always gay to her. I don't believe that for 1 second. It always seemed to me like it was something that she added after the fact. And then when you read other things she said, like Harry has a gay symbol on him, some bullshit she said, a lot of people were like, okay, come on, that sounds like you're making that up, like you're retconning, and all that stuff. That's what this comes across as. It comes across as her retconning things. When she said Hermione is black, it's like, no, she ain't. She was always white, even in the UK. In fact, I'll show you. In the UK... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's not there. Oh, there you are. Oh. Whoops. Hold on a second, guys. Alright, here we go. Here is the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows book that I got back in like 2007. So I've had this book for 17 years, basically, which is about how old Harry Potter is supposed to be in this book, 17. And in this book, if you look at... Oh, looks like I think the spine's been bent a little. Ooh, had this for a while. Ooh, blimey. Blimey, Harry. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Just sort that out a little bit. If you look at the front cover, there is Harry, there is Ron, and there is Hermione. So in the book, in the UK that I've got, this was the front cover when it was released. It was always meant to be a white girl. And I'm sure in her own books it says that somewhere too, which is where people have been saying to her, you're saying that she says I never specified Hermione's white, but then in the book it's like, yes you did, but you're just retconning things constantly. Even the whole thing with Grindelwald and Dumbledore, she was retconning that as well and saying that, oh yeah, they were gay, that's what it was. And it's like, in the book it was never hinting at that. But she keeps adding these things. So I wouldn't be surprised if she says, oh yeah, Snape was always black. I never said he wasn't, even though she said she always imagined it as Alan Rickman. So it's just ridiculous. Jess, thank you very much for the $10 donation, buddy. I really appreciate that. Jess says, hey Eric, when Disney bought Fox, did the 28 Days Later franchise get sold to Sony for the upcoming 2025 film? And if Craven does well, then Sony will make the Sinister Six movie just for money. Any thoughts? I don't know about the 28 Days Later franchise. I don't know what those rights are, but if it did belong to Fox and then it now has gone over to Sony, I'm guessing some buyout must have happened, or some exchange, or some deal. Something must have happened. In regards to if Craven does well, Sony will make the Sinister Six movie. I don't think Sony know what they're doing. I don't know. They can literally just have any idea and say, let's do it. If they want to make a Sinister Six movie, I hope they do, and I hope it bombs so they can just put it to rest. Because they've been trying to make that Sinister Six movie for about 10 years now, over 10 years, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about that. It's like, it's a directionless movie that no one wants without Spider-Man, but they keep trying to force a standalone Sinister Six movie where they're not going to be bad guys, they're going to be heroes, even though they're going to say anti-heroes. No, they're not. So yes, I think I'm just ignoring all that. I purely think that the Sinister Six thing is just nonsense. If they want to do it, they can do it. Let it bomb. That's what I say. Alright, so yeah, going back to this. Yeah, so Hermione was white. There's no changing that. But they did on the Broadway play. Who knows? Maybe they'll do the same thing with the show. And Severus Snape should look more like this. Not like that guy that they've got right there. He could, like I said, he could play Kingsley Shacklebolt, but he can't play Severus Snape. He just can't. I mean, they'll probably do it. I'm not surprised if they do. But I mean, look at this. Like, have they not looked at this? Go to Adam Driver, give him a freaking offer, and let him play Professor Snape. Seriously, why is this so hard? They're seriously just messing around at this point. It's such a perfect choice right here. And again, if not him, then Benedict Cumberbatch. You know, these are actors that are known, just like how Alan Rickman was when they cast him for Professor Snape. So to cast these other actors that were well known in a Professor Snape role would be the best choice, but they're not doing that, it seems. So yeah, it's I really don't know what to say about it. They're so stupid at this point. Deadwolf says, I can see Christian Bale or Cillian Murphy as Snape. Christian Bale, I'm trying to think. I don't think so, really. But then again, Christian Bale is like a chameleon. If you've seen him in many roles, he can really change it, like, you know, what he does. So maybe. Cillian Murphy, I don't know. I think he looks a bit too old. But then again, would long hair work on him? I've never really thought about it. He's always had, like, the normal haircut type thing. He's never really had something longer. I'm trying to think. I don't think he has. So yeah, Batman's Gamer says Bale can be Vernon Dursley. Yeah, well, you saw him get all big for what was the historical, I think it was a real life person he was playing, Christian Bale, when he gained all that weight. Who was he playing? But yeah, Christian Bale has done that, so he can uh do it again. What was the person he was playing? Ooh, now that's bothering me. But yeah, he played a historically, was it Churchill he played? But he played a historically real person, and he went big to play the role. So I think, yeah, he could if he wanted to be Vernon Dursley. But Vernon Dursley, you don't want someone like that is elite like Christian Bale, someone you know that well. You want him to be someone that looks a bit, I'd say, naturally large, not someone who has to get large. That's what I would say they have to cast for Vernon Dursley. Selena says, have you heard that they're trying to get Mark Strong to play Dumbledore? I have heard of that. But I've also heard they're trying to go for another actor to play Dumbledore. Let me find it. The rumor that is more solid from what I've been hearing is that they want to cast Mark Rylance, an actor called Mark Rylance, to play him. That's another person I'm looking at. I don't see Mark Strong playing Dumbledore, really. Mark Strong is too intense. Dumbledore is very gentle, and Mark Strong, he's always very intense. Even when he's playing a more light-hearted character, he is still very intense. So I don't want him playing Dumbledore. Dumbledore's got to be someone who's very graceful, very calm, because in the book, he is always calm. In the book, he's never shouted, from what I can remember. He's always contained his composure. So, yeah, I hope they do that. And I'm just looking at some of these other actors they got. They've got someone that they're considering for McGonagall as well and stuff. Ian McKellen as Dumbledore. I think that could work, but I think it will be too much like Gandalf, honestly. So I'd say probably not. Plus, and we don't know how much longer he's going to live for, because these are those are getting really old, aren't they? At the same time, though, they did recast the actor that played him in the first two movies. They got Michael Gambon in to play Dumbledore from the third movie onwards. So they did change the actors there. So they could change it here if that happens. Batman's Gamer says he's 84. Yeah, so that means in 10 years' time, will he still be here? Will he be 90? Because that means if they do take 10 years to film this overall, especially those later books, although they are thinking of doing 8 episodes per season, which you can already see the problems right there. If they do that, how long will that take, to film and to release? Will he be alive by then? That's the question. So, yeah. I don't think they want to go that old at this point. Plus, I think you can't really separate him from Gandalf, from his role as Gandalf, I think. So, that would not be the best casting choice, in my opinion. So, yeah. Batman's Gamer says, hire a 65-year-old actor. Yeah, a 60 to 65-year-old actor. Big Bash says, honestly, Harry Potter sounds cool, but I'm not reading 700 pages. Big Bash, back in the day, I was only, how old was I? I was 9 when I got my first Harry Potter book to read. I was 9, reading it all the way up until I was 12, and I read all the books at that point. So I've read all the Harry Potter books as I was a kid. Trust me, they're very easy reads. People that have, is it dyslexia? The condition where you can't read for long periods. I could be wrong, but there's a condition where you can't read for too long. People that have that condition, they say Harry Potter was no problem for them. They could read it all the way through. So yeah, but fantastic books. These are my favorite books. I've read them multiple times. So I would highly recommend it. A lot of pages, yes, but you get a lot of mileage from those pages. You really do. And J.K. Rowling's way of writing these stories, I think, is the best I've ever seen. So yeah. Ooh, Mr. P says Clancy Brown could be casted as a character. I don't know who. Yeah, he sounds like he could be. Maybe a Death Eater? He sounds like the rough voice he puts on could be a Death Eater. Maybe Lucius Malfoy he could be? Or I think he's too intense for Lucius Malfoy, I think. Wow, Fireboy says, wow, I didn't know you were a fan of Harry Potter. Oh, I was. Harry Potter back in my time was like, the first movie came out when I was 6. And it was huge. Harry Potter really was huge. So, yeah, if you had to really live in that time to know how huge it was really was like a big deal. and everyone was hyped for it. Even my dad was hyped for it, and he would read the books. Me and him would both be reading the books. Everyone else in the household were not really into the idea of reading them, but my dad, I remember, would tell my mum about it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really was. Big Bash says, who will they get for Harry? We don't know yet, but they've got an open casting call for anyone of any race and all that to play the characters. Trevor Bistro says, Andy Serkis as Wormtail. I think so. I think you could do that. The only thing is that the actors they cast for the original Harry Potter films were just so good. Everyone, Wormtail, Professor Slughorn, Alan Rickman as Snape, the two Dumbledores they got, even Professor Umbridge. There was McGonagall by Maggie. Why am I so bad with names? I really want to get inside my head and punch my head. Seriously. Oh yeah, Gary Oldman. When they got him. Maggie Smith, that was it. Why am I not remembering these names? Seriously. But Maggie Smith, she was a great McGonagall. Like, all these actors they got were like on point, perfectly cast. Even Luna, the actress they got for Luna Lovegood, she was such a weirdo like she was in the books. I remember when I was reading the book, I was like, how are you going to cast someone that is like this? She was such a weirdo in the books, and they cast a girl that was just like her. Like, me and my dad back in the day says they did a really good job casting her, didn't they? And they did. It was such a weird character to read on the page, and they really did translate that very well with the actress they hired. So yeah, they did a phenomenal job with casting back then. I just don't know how they can do as good a job now. I really don't know. Big Bass says, I only watched one Harry Potter movie, and it was Deathly Hallows Part 2. I don't know why you would do that. That's like saying I watched only one Marvel movie, and it's Avengers Endgame. It's like, why? Why, Big Bash? Why? City of Ember says, everyone was perfect casting in the movie. Yeah, even Neville Longbottom was perfect casting. Although I think Mr. P is saying the kid that played Dustin, I think, the kid that played Dustin in Stranger Things. I think that's who's Mr. P is saying they should cast as Neville Longbottom. I think that's what he's saying. That would not be a bad choice, but even Neville Longbottom was such a uniquely weird kid that they cast, or a uniquely wimpy kid. Because I've been watching Cobra Kai recently, and in that show, there is a character called Dimitri, and he is such a wimp. He really is. And I feel like Neville Longbottom was his own kind of wimp. He kind of felt like he became brave by the end of it, but at the beginning, when you remember how he was first shown, he was such a wimp. He really was. Neville was. So yeah. Oh, it was on TV, Big Bash. Oh, I see. I get you. But yeah. Ultimately, I think there's many things. There's many good actors they can get, but I don't think they can top the casting that was done so brilliantly in those other movies. It's just a shame that those other actors didn't get as much time to portray these characters on screen. I'd say that's the only shame. Unfortunately. Let me just put this back. There we go. That's my footrest as well, where I put these Harry Potter books. So yeah. Oh, Batman's Game says, who'd play the Weasley twins? I don't know. I think they really should stick to British actors, because I think J.K. Rowling was onto something when she said she wanted British actors to basically be playing these roles. I think that brought something to the original movies, because they kept hiring all this great, like, British talent. These actors that were very old, but, you know, they're, like, professionally trained British actors, like, the best you could get, and they were all playing these characters, and they did wonderful jobs. So I really hope they stick to that, maybe, and can, you know, do it that way. But then again, how will we get certain actors like Adam Driver as Snape here if they were just to cast British people? Because I don't think Adam Driver is British. Big Bash says, could Adam Driver pull off a British accent? I don't know. That's an interesting question. Deadwolf says, next thing we know, they cast Mike Myers as Dobby. Yeah, sugar. What would who do you think they would cast to play these like more high pitched voices for characters? Like, you don't think they would cast Kevin Hart to play Dobby, do you? Could you imagine in this day and age? And what was his name? Kumail Nanjiani. Kumail Nanjiani, who was in Eternals. He was in Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. He was in the frickin' Obi-Wan show. Imagine if they cast him to come in and all of a sudden like play the voice of Dobby. It would be so annoying. A lot of these comedic actors they get nowadays, they are annoying. I can't really think of one off the top of my head where I'm like, yeah, that's a good one right there. Oh god, Big Bash says, imagine Aquafina. Yeah, heck no. Selena, I agree. She says, I just hope people don't attack the kid actors if they are a different race. I agree. I hope they don't either. But that's where it goes, because it's not on them. It's on the studio. So if you want to, like, insult anyone, or you get to the studio people, not to the kid actors. But this is where I think the bloody studio should know better. They should know now that there's going to be that certain segment of people that are going to pick on the kids. So let's protect them from that and not make them play that role. Because they should know it's going to annoy people, but instead, it's like they don't care. Because they don't care. They just want to put on this false facade of, look how good we are. How progressive we are. Ugh. But yeah, scary to think what they will do. Johnny Depp could play a certain character, I think. But then again, he was in Fantastic Beasts. I mean, I think he could be an option for Professor Snape, but he has to be more of a pull-back performance like he did as Grindelwald. I think he's actually very good in that way. Ooh, where is the alert box? There we go. Josh is Not Funny has done a £1.11 donation. Thank you very much for the donation, buddy. He donated through Streamlabs as well, so thank you very much. I appreciate that, bud. He says, what rating would you give the first Matrix movie? And did you know that Robin Williams offered to play the role of Hagrid in the original movies for free? Yes, I did. I remember hearing that. He wanted to play... He said he would play the role of Hagrid for free because he really wanted to be in it. But J.K. Rowling says she only wanted British actors in it because the school is meant to be a very British place and everything. So, and I was like, I do feel bad for him that it didn't happen. But at the same time, Robbie Coltrane he's since passed away. He's a phenomenal British actor. He's another great British talent. And I can't imagine anyone else playing Hagrid, even Robin Williams. I think Robin Williams would have possibly have brought more of his comedic shtick to it. And that wouldn't have worked, I don't think. So, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think... Robin Williams would have done a good job with that, but that's not to say he couldn't have played another character, maybe Peeves, but they got Rick Mayall to play him, then they cut his scenes from the film, which is annoying. Anyway, the other part of your question, Josh is Not Funny, what rating would you give the first Matrix movie? I give that a 10 out of 10. I love the first Matrix movie. Excuse me. Oh. Okay. Batman's Gamer says, race swap everyone except the main character. I'd say race swap no one. There's nothing wrong with having actors that resemble what was in the source material, even if they're all white. You don't have to do it with every single project where you gotta change the race of someone, but that's what they keep trying to do. It's like it's gotta happen with every single project to them. Mr. Piece's Q&A time? Well, still talking about Harry Potter, so not quite yet. Do you think they should make Voldemort's appearance accurate to the books, or should they keep the look from the movies? Accurate to the books. I thought they made him look too human in the fourth movie onwards, because in the book they describe perfectly what he's like, and he looks like something like freaky he does in the book. He also has red eyes and slits for eyes, not pupils, but slits. But in the movie they gave him, I think it was green eyes or something, and it was like proper pupils, and that was a shame. I was like, they could have made him look scarier. In the first movie, they actually did have a very scary image for what he could look like, but they thought it was too scary for children, so they didn't do it. Gregory, great to see you here, buddy. He says, honestly, race swapping doesn't bother me if the writing is accurate. Just look at the Batman. I talked about the Batman, Gregory, and I said earlier that's a good example of doing race swapping. But there's a lot of... that's a good example of doing race swapping, but there's a lot of bad examples. And this one right here is a bad example. And I don't know if you've seen it, Gregory, but I was saying Adam Driver should play Snape. Look at this fan poster right here. Looks just like him. So... yeah, race swapping doesn't bother me if it is done well, like how it was with Catwoman in the Batman and Commissioner Gordon in the... well, Gordon in the Batman, Lieutenant Gordon. But there's bad examples too, and this is definitely one of the bad examples. And we've got a $2 donation from Batman's Gamer. Thank you very much, Batman's Gamer. He says... who'd voice the Sorting Hat? That's a very good question. Either Kumail Nanjiani they'll get, or I wouldn't be surprised if they come in and they say, let's gender bend the hat and make it a woman instead that's singing. And then they get Awkwafina. So yeah, maybe that's what could happen, Batman's Gamer, if I had to guess. I'm not being 100% serious, but I'm giving you one of the options. But I hope they do a good job, I really do. G Gamer said, surprised this was the only story today. Yeah, it's a very light story day, and I didn't really think there was anything else really worth talking about, so I thought I'd just chill with you guys more with a Q&A. Super Michael 98, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. He says, can you review Zack Snyder's Twilight of the Gods? Twilight of the Gods. Let me see. What's Twilight of the Gods? I mean, it's an undeniable Zack Snyder title, that, isn't it? Oh, it's a TV series that came out in 2024. It is created by Eric Carrick or something. Oh, he's one of the creators. Twilight of the Gods. When does this come out? Oh, I'm looking at some of the imagery here. This looks like a Zack Snyder thing, this does. And they got a woman jumping in slow motion above a Viking is what it looks like. Slow motion. Is she going to stab this guy or not? I mean, some cool looking blood animation, but I don't like the Zack Snyderisms in this. Ah, so it's already out. Okay. Yeah, no. I don't have time for this kind of thing. You got to be selective over the stuff you're going to watch. If I'm going to cover something, I should try to cover some... Like, look, if you want it commissioned, then yes, I will. But if you want me to just do it like on my own, I won't, because I haven't got time for it. I'm focusing on many other things right now. Super Michael's done another super chat, another $5 one. Thank you, super chat. Thank you, Super Michael. He says, it is on Netflix, and it's probably the closest thing to God of War Zack Snyder will ever make. Watch the trailer if you haven't. Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer here. There's no sound to it, but there's a lot of good, cool-looking blood animation in here. But I wouldn't say it looks entirely closest to God of War. It looks like a lot of his movies, where you see a badass-looking person going with having a sword or something and jumping in super slow motion to attack other people. Do what it looks like to me, Super Michael. I'm looking at it. It looks like the battle in Zack Snyder's Justice League when they're all fighting Darkseid in that story that Wonder Woman is telling. It looks like that to me, is what it looks like. City of Ember says, hey Eric, are you going to review that new Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, or whatever that was called? How you say it? Rohirrim? We'll see. We will see. I have to... because Sonic 3 is coming out then. I've almost finished the script for my Moana versus video. So we'll see if I get to it eventually. We'll see. I might do another car review, maybe. But, yeah, I'll probably do something like that. That's probably the only way I can get a review of that out. And like I say, your guys' donations help, because it helps me buy tickets, helps me go see movies like that and everything. So if you do more donations and things, that would definitely help towards something like that. Even if you don't, I'll still do it, but still. How much would it take to commission? Oh, how much would it take to commission a review of this show? Twilight of the Gods, you're talking, Super Michael. Is that what you're talking about? Man, the super chats are really kind of coming in right now, aren't they? You guys are being very generous with these. Even Jess did another one. Jess says, which villain is better, Kingpin or Penguin in the show? Very good question. I love Penguin, but the Kingpin has gone up against his superhero. He's gone up against Daredevil. The Penguin hasn't gone up against Batman yet, so I'm going to say Kingpin. Until we see Penguin go up against Batman, then I can properly compare them. Let me see. Yeah, the G Gamer has said it. Thank you, G Gamer. He said $200. No, that's for a quick movie review. Twilight of the Gods is a TV show. So isn't that $250? And then I'll basically watch and review the whole show. Let's see. Memberships. Oh, for a quick show reviews, which is a new show, which no one has done yet. This will be the... If you do this, Super Michael, you'll be the first to get a brand new quick show reviews. It's a $300 for a quick show review. It says it must be a maximum of 8 episodes. So yeah, Twilight of the Gods is 8 episodes. So yeah, Super Michael is there. If you do that donation on Patreon, then yeah, you've got that review down. Gregory says, Eric, what about the Puss in Boots verse video? I'm editing it, buddy. I've recorded all the voiceovers. The script was complete quite a bit ago. I've recorded all the voiceovers. I've edited, I think, 3 parts of the voiceovers, and I've got 2 parts of the voiceovers left to edit. And then I got to put in the footage, then I got to put in the music, then I got to put in the posters, then I got to animate the posters, then I got to level the music so it doesn't get louder than my voice. Then I got to put the effects in there, then I've got to put in some sound effects. There's a lot of work that still has to go into it, but yeah, I'm making it, basically. So the voiceover is completely done, and yeah. Elite says, why not 10 episodes to reviews? Because 10 episodes can be a lot. So yeah, it's a lot to watch and review. So with 8, I thought let's start with 8. If I feel like I've got the hang of it, then I can maybe increase it, but as of right now, 8. Originally I was just going to do 6, but then I thought I'll push it to 8, so 8 is the one that I've got. What's your favorite DreamWorks movie? You know what? Let's go to... we can go to this and say this is the Q&A. DC09, I've not seen Wicked, so I can't say. Andrew says, so what's your favorite DreamWorks movie? There's a lot of great movies there. I'd say... which one did I like? My favorite DreamWorks movie. I love How to Train Your Dragon, but I also love Shrek. I'd say Shrek, the first Shrek. I love that. I also love the How to Train Your Dragon, the first one as well, How to Train Your Dragon. And would you look at that? We have Sarah, who's done a $12 super chat. Thank you very much, Sarah. I really appreciate it. She says, is there a movie or show that you really want to make a video about, but you know you'll never be able to because it's too hard or time-consuming, etc.? Also, any hyperfictations this month? Just curious. What do you mean hyperfictations? But anyway, let me answer your first part of your question first. That's a very good question, Sarah. Is there a movie or show that I really want to make a video about, but I know I'll never be able to? It's not a matter of never be able to make a video too, it's just a matter of not having the time. But I get what you mean, though. That is kind of your question. I mean, that Spider-Man 2 versus video, the game, is kind of one of them right now. You know, the game versus video that I wrote. So that's kind of one of them. I'd say probably that one. That's probably the one where I'm like, I want to get it done, but it is too time consuming to do, and I have other projects as well. So I'd say that's probably the one. Oh, hyperfixations this month. You mean... so Sarah, by hyperfixations, do you mean things that I'm really like super invested in right now? Like obsessed with? Is that what you're talking about? As I wait for you to answer that, I will say, yeah, the Spider-Man 2 game versus video that I want to do, the Spider-Man 1 versus Spider-Man 2, the games versus video, that's one I wish I could get done sooner, but it's taking a lot longer, and I've not put any work into it for months now, because I'm working on all this other stuff. Batman's game versus Spider-Man 2 versus video is going to be Eric's greatest achievement. I wouldn't say so. I would say my greatest achievement is actually a series of unfortunate, less a binge watch, a series of unfortunate events season 3. That's my biggest achievement, because that took so much work to do, so many months, such a long time, and in the end, it's one of the videos I'm most proud of. It's one of the videos that I have put the most time into, and it's one of the videos that is the longest on my channel. I think it is the longest on my channel, the longest edited video, not counting these live streams. So yeah. Yeah, mainly asking about hyperfixations of movies or shows, but yeah, that's what I mean, Sarah. So yeah, I am hyperfixated on one thing right now, and that's Cobra Kai. A couple days ago, about 3 days ago, or 4 days ago, I finished watching season 6 of Cobra Kai, and it was a great season. That final episode was insane. So they split them into 3 parts. I got to watch the 2 parts back to back because I waited for the second part, so I got to see all 10 episodes at my own pace. It was great. It was so good. And then I thought to myself, you know what? It was late at night. And I was thinking, you know what? I finished watching season 6. I kind of want to go back to season 1 and see where Johnny started and where Daniel started, and just see where they, where they were versus where they are now in the show. And it was so wonderful. That first episode was so good. I've said, you know what? I want to watch the next one. And then the next one, then the next one. And by the end of it, it was about 6 in the morning. I was only meant to watch 1 episode. I ended up watching all 10 episodes of season 1. It's like they're 25 to 30 minutes long. They're just perfect lengths. Like, so perfect. They couldn't be more perfect if you tried. So that was phenomenal. And then I ended up watching season 2 the next night. And now I'm on season 3, and I watched 8 episodes of season 3 last night. So now I've got 2 more episodes to watch, which I'll watch later after the stream. And then I'm going to go through season 4, and then 5, and then maybe 6 again. Who knows? But I'm going through a binge of Cobra Kai right now. I love the Karate Kid movies, and yeah, watching this is like... It was so fun, and I'm watching it on my projector too. So it was so good. I've watched all Cobra Kai seasons as they've been coming out on my projector. So to rewatch them all again, it's a fantastic binge, and I've been watching it with my headphones as well. Let's see, can you see it? Yeah, those headphones right here. I think they're the Sony WHMX3000s or something. Phenomenal headphones. They're great for watching movies with. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Let's see. Oh, Super Michael has done another super chat. Thank you very much, Super Michael. I'm really appreciating these super chats. $2 super chat. He says, does it have to be on Patreon? Can I pay here? No, you can't pay here because YouTube takes a cut from the donations you do here. So if you don't want to pay it on Patreon, then you can pay it via Streamlabs. Do you see the link I've got pinned in the description? I've got it in the description. I've got it pinned in the comments. The G Gamer actually did his commission through Streamlabs because he didn't want to do his second one, I think, on Patreon. So yeah, basically just click this link and do the donation there, buddy, and I get all the donation through that. Streamlabs doesn't take a cut, YouTube doesn't take a cut, and there's less tax that you have to pay or something. I think on Patreon, I think if you go over a certain level, they charge you a bit of tax or something. You pay significantly less on Streamlabs, so yeah, do it on Streamlabs if you want to get it done, buddy, and then we'll do it. If you want help right now to do it, because we're live, it's the perfect time for me to guide you through it, so... If you want to do it now, let me know, and if you do, I'll put your name over here. Do you know what it says here? New YouTube and Patreon members. If you do it now during the stream, I'll put your name underneath right there, and your name will forever be on this live stream. So, Super Michael 98, if you want to do that right now, be sure to let me know. Connor the Gamer. Connor the Gamer has become a member. Is Connor the Gamer always a member, or did he just become a member now? Sarah, yes, you can. If you want to pay for a commission on Streamlabs, you can. That's the way to do it. Because G Gamer, he did 2 commissions that way right there. He did... I've got my list elsewhere, but he did the Megamind one, and he also did the Godzilla review one. Uh, Sorry, I've got the names written. I think I'm getting that mixed up. Oh, it says he's been a member for 6 months. Well, because he's been a member for 6 months now, why not? I'll put his name down there in the text. So, let's see. Connor the Gamer. There you go. Your name is right here. So, Connor, thank you for being a YouTube member for 6 months now. I really appreciate that. Like I said, any patrons or donations or becoming a YouTube member all really does help, and you get benefits for being one. So what does Connor say? He says, during winter break, I'm preparing to send you money to do a video and a movie review, and also happy December. Oh, thank you very much, buddy, and happy December to you. Yeah, by all means, that's no problem at all. Be sure to let me know, and we can, I'll fit you in, I'll slot you in, with everyone else. Let's see, where is Sarah's question? Sarah says, Eric staying up all night watching Cobra Kai is funny to imagine. Well, it is a badass show, and I'm not really into wrestling or boxing, but watching the action scenes in Cobra Kai, especially the ones that get more intense and the tournament fights, at that point, I'm like one of those people that is watching a football game. Like, I am just moving in my seat, like, really excited, like, left, right, dodge, like, kick him. Like, you really get, like, excited in your seat, like, you're really, like, in it, you're watching everything, like, it's amazing, especially, like, again, on the projector screen. It's, like, such a big screen you're watching on. It's like you're watching sports in the best way. So, yeah, I love that. Quan is a menace to society. Yeah, Batman's Gamer. It's not good to say, but whatever happened to Quan, I was like, better him than someone else. Because he just got super crazy towards the end. There's so much surprises happened in that last episode of Cobra Kai Season 6. It just blew me away. Where was Sarah's... But yeah, Sarah, if you want to do it through Streamlabs, you can. A commission. If you want to do it through Streamlabs, you can do it there. And I will do a review for you, whatever you ask. Eric, you should become a referee, says Sarah. I don't know. I think I'll not be doing my referee duties. I'll just be watching the fight. I won't be saying enough or, like, you know, foul or whatever. I'll just say, no, just continue the fight. I'll sit there with popcorn. I would not be a good referee. Connor says, no problem. Thanks, bud. So, yeah. But yeah, Super Michael, if you want to do that during the live stream, you can go ahead and do it, and I'll put you on the list. In fact, let me look at that list. There you go, Patreon commissions. Okay, Final Wars is done. Puss in Boots 1 is in progress, then we got Megamind 2. Yeah, so... It was King of the Monsters 2021 that gave me two commissions. It was Godzilla Final Wars. That review is already on YouTube. I never would have reviewed that otherwise. And then, so far, it seems like he wants me to do Godzilla 2001. I still got to hear from him. And then, yeah, I'll do that one. And then Puss in Boots 2 is the one I'm working on right now. That's in progress. Jess says, screw Megamind 2. Well, yeah, that's kind of why he wants me to review it. He says, I gotta face the music and watch that movie now. Elite says, the name change will be better. Trust me. Well, I hope so, buddy. Who commissioned Megamind 2? It was G-Gamer, Sarah. G-Gamer commissioned it. He says you're gonna have to now you're gonna have to face the music, and you're gonna have to watch Megamind 2, a movie I'd never seen, nor did I intend to see, but now I got to see. So yeah. Batman's Gamer says, when can we expect Puss in Boots versus video? Probably end of this month or somewhere in January, because I've got like Moana to work on, Puss in Boots to work on, and the Sonic video to work on, plus the Let's Watch videos and that I'm working on too. So yeah, I'm working hard on them though, so I hope you guys enjoy them when they come out, and of course I hope Gregory enjoys it because that's his commission. Khan says, Eric, it's December. You better watch some good movies. Yeah, towards the end of this month, I'm going to be watching as many movies as I can to catch up on so I can see which one goes in my best and worst of lists of 2024. So yes, I will be watching even terrible movies as well, just to get it on that, just to see what goes on the list. So I'll be watching that Borderlands movie too. Eric, I was asking you questions. Your question, says Josh, man. Where is your question? Eric, you seen the movie Megalopolis? It's a movie with Adam Driver. I've not seen it, nor do I want to. It looks like... I watched a clip. I think it was of two characters making out. It was a clip where they were talking first, then they were making out. It was in someone's review. It was only in someone's review. And I was like, what shit is this? It feels like someone who's just mentally depraved or not right in the head made this. I was like, yeah, that's not a movie I ever have to see. Batman's Gamer says, how do we go from Harry Potter to Cobra Kai? When Sarah asked me a question, have I been really into anything lately? Like, she used a word which I can't remember, but hyper something? Hyperfixated or something? And I said it was that. Sarah says Cobra Kai is epic. It sure is epic. The G-Gamer, Megamind 2. Also, you're going to watch for the worst list? Yes, G-Gamer, I will be watching it for the worst of list. Don't you worry. Do you think Universal should try to reboot the Dark Universe again? No, I'll keep it into standalone movies as they are. Fireboy, take care. Thank you for joining the stream. Let me see here. Joshman, yes, I will be watching Craven when it comes out. And yeah, I'm not going to be doing any kind of versus video or anything. I'll probably watch it and review it in my car, like I did Venom 3. I think that's where these Sony movies deserve to go. So I go in, watch the movie, the review stays in my car, doesn't get out to the rest of the world until I put it up on YouTube. I'm doing good, Rohan. How are you? Let's see. Jake says, by the way, I have to go now. See you later. Wish you replied to at least one thing I said while I was here. Jake, have you got another question? Repeat your question. I'll answer it right now. Let's see. Jake says here, by the way, did you hear about the freaking bathroom spell the wizards apparently had in Harry Potter before bathrooms were a thing? What bathroom spell was it? Jake, what bathroom spell was it? Joshman, yes, I'll do a quick movie review on... I'll try to do a quick movie review of Craven the Hunter. Big Bash says, Eric, what is the genre of film do you think is underrated? I don't know. I think they're all praised quite a lot when they do something good. So I don't know if there's an underrated one. I will say I think horror movies are underrated by the Academy. So are superhero movies, but horror movies in particular, you know, they don't seem to acknowledge them or take them seriously, which is stupid. Sarah says, Eric, what's your favourite Lord of the Rings film? It's always a toss-up between 1 and 3, but I'll say 3. Mr. P says, prediction. Captain America Brave New World flops. I would not be surprised with that prediction. Jess says, I hope that the rhino doesn't get wasted in Craven. Yeah, well, we'll see. It probably will be. Will only be there for the climactic action sequence. Adam Grunther says, great to see you on the stream, buddy. Says, have you seen Creature Commandos? No, I haven't. I'm trying to figure it out. I'll figure it out, then I'll see if I can try to cover it for you guys, because I do want to see it. And I've heard a lot of good things about it as well. Sarah says, who is your favorite character, Eric, in Cobra Kai? I mean, I really love Johnny, but I like Kreese by the end of it. He's such a morally weird character. I like all the characters, well, the majority of them. Some of the kids I'm not too fond of, but my favorite character would probably be Johnny. He's just funny every time he's on screen. Like, I love Daniel, but Johnny, like, the stuff that he says when he's, and like, you know, stuff that he says which is not PC, it gets on everyone's nerves, but he doesn't know any better. It's always hilarious. When he goes, she's on, when they talked about Ali with an I, when they go that she's on face, when he speaks to Daniel about it, he goes, "How do you know so much about her? So much about her? Like, for someone who's not interested in his ex-girlfriend, you seem to know a lot about her." Then he goes, "I've seen her on Facebook." And then Johnny's like, "What's a Facebook?" And then Daniel's like, "Seriously, Johnny?" Like, I like that kind of conversations between them. It's hilarious. By the way, Adam is Creature Commandos good? What do you think of it? I know you are a big James Gunn fan, so do you like it? Do you think it's too similar to his other Suicide Squad like team up films, or what do you think? Because I'm sure it's going to be good, but I'm getting tired of James Gunn giving us a lot of teams lately. He's given us Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a team. He's given us the Suicide Squad, which was also a team. He gave us Peacemaker, which was also a team, and now he's got Creature Commandos, which is another team. And then in Superman, looks like we've got a lot of superheroes there too, so that looks like another team. He does a lot of teams, which is really quite irritating when he does that. I'm starting to notice a pattern. It's just too much groups. I feel like that can be a problem for the DCU if he keeps doing too much teams. Let's see. Adam says, first episode's okay, but the second episode is downright incredible. David Harbour is really fantastic as Frankenstein in particular, both unsettling and tragic. That's cool to hear. Super Michael says, okay, it's done. Do you mean you've already done it, Super Michael? Because if you had done it, it would pop up right here on the screen, but it hasn't. Let's see. Bear with me, guys. Let me see if... Let me see if I can see that. Where is it? Here we go. It wants me to sign in. Bear with me, guys. Yes, continue. Kevin, you've given me... It's like you just sat on your keyboard. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I wish I could answer a question for you, but it looks like you just sat on your keyboard right there. Give me a second. Tipistry. Super Michael, what do you mean when you say it's done? Do you mean you donated through Patreon? What did you do? Or was it Streamlabs? Oh, Shia LaBeouf will rage if a kid says, "Mom, look, it is the guy from Transformers." Oh, that's what you are saying. Oh. It's sold out, so you did the brand new quick show reviews thing for $300. Wow, buddy. It says sold out. That's actually... It's on Patreon, so Super Michael. Okay, I could have... If you wanted, I actually could have done the... Streamlabs one for you. But no, that's good. Let that mean. You know what that means. Give me a second. Hold on. Yep, there you go. Give me a second. Super Michael. Whoa, sorry, I just lightly punched my microphone. Super Michael 98 is also on this list now, so your name will be here forever. Congratulations, you're the first user on this channel to take advantage of my brand new show, which is quick TV show reviews. So you guys have seen me do quick movie reviews before, but I've never done quick TV show reviews before, and now I am going to. So, yeah, let me go back to the page here. And if you guys actually go to Patreon right now, you'll see it's sold out. And also, Super Michael, I'm letting you know right now, because it is sold out. You've taken the spot. It means that if you stay every single month, or however many months you want, if you stay on this perk, it means that I will be able to do a quick show review for you every single month. So that's basically what you got going there. If you keep it, if you decide to remove yourself from that slot, then someone else can go in that slot, and then they'll, take advantage of that slot and be able to have a chance to get their whatever show they want reviewed. But yeah, thank you very much, and congratulations. I hope you enjoy the review when I get it out for you. That means I'll have to start watching that show at some point. I'll finish off the videos I'm doing for the year, because we're approaching Christmas and everything, and we got Sonic 3 coming out. We've got the Puss in Boots versus video I'm doing for Gregory. We've got the Megamind review I'm also going to do for G Gamer. So I'll get those done, and then I will, in that time, I'll watch the show, I'll write the script, and I'll make the quick TV show review for you. So yeah, Super Michael, congratulations. Mr. P says, Eric, will you review final season of Stranger Things? Probably not, because I did not like season 4. Like, I really did not like season 4, and it just put me off of the whole show, really. So, again, it's one of those situations where, again, if someone commissions it, maybe then I will. Otherwise, no, I don't think I will. Joshman says, Eric, how's it going on the Moana versus video? It's going good. I completed the story and character segment. I'm going to read that out tomorrow morning. And then I've got the song segment and the conclusion segment to write. The song segment will be a short segment, of course, because there's not really too much to say about the songs, but I think it does warrant a dedicated section. And then we're going to have the conclusion, and the conclusion is going to be where I just wrap everything up. So yeah, the story and characters is done. Let's see, who said that? Khan says, Eric, make sure not to push yourself too far, okay? I'll try, buddy. He says, make sure not to push yourself too far, okay? You're only human, so take a day off or two if you need it. I will, buddy. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your concern. I really do. Because if you look at the last few videos I put out, I was working so hard when I did these last several videos, the Penguin review and all these other reviews, where I actually did feel a bit burnt out by the end of it, and I did several videos. So yeah, it was nice to take, I think I did take about a day and a half. That was nice. But now I'm trying to get back into it. So yeah, the Moana video is being done. I've got a quick show reviews to do. So there's that as well. Let's see. Twilight of Gods. Just writing this down, the Patreon commission. Of Gods. Okay, that's great. That's something which I'm gonna have to put on my list. A lot of you guys are asking questions. I'm sorry I was missing those. I'm just doing a bit of housekeeping here, because that hasn't happened very often on a live stream where someone commissions something on the stream. So let me write that down. Twilight of the Gods quick TV show review, and that is from Super Michael 98. So yeah, that's put in my schedule, and I'll work through it to get to the list, buddy. But then yeah, it's done. That's a done deal. Crazy Gamer says, guys, I'm back. That's great. Crazy Cat Lady says, I watched some Christopher Reeve's biography. Oh, that Superman story thing that James Gunn has been pushing a lot. Ooh, that's interesting to actually... I want to see that myself. What did you think of it, Crazy Cat Lady? Was it fun? Was it a good watch? And Good Times has done what looks like a €5 donation. He says, if I make a movie about a hero called Randy Archer who uses laser guns and is humorous, what movie should I watch for creative gun action and good humor? I'd say watch Dread, because that's a more serious movie, but there is some dark humor in there, and they do have some creative gun stuff in there as well. So watch that. Watch the Suicide Squad from James Gunn, because there are Peacemaker and Bloodsport have some weapons, some creative weaponry. They were even competing with their guns in one scene. And let's see, what other one? Watch the first Expendables movie, because one of the characters in there had like a ton of guns that he was very passionate about, and some were so big and they blew people away. So that's like three very different examples that you can pull from. And I'm sure there must be other movies as well, but I'd also recommend that you look at video games, because there are video games out there that have a whole bunch of creative gun weaponry and machinery, because that's what a lot of games are, first-person shooters. So I'd recommend looking at those as well. Look at the Unreal Tournament games. They have a lot of creative and downright weird weapons in some of their installments. And it says here, celebrate the first super chat from Good Times. Oh, Good Times says, by the way, not my first super chat. Not sure why it says that. I was thinking that. I was like, I swear I remember you donating before, so I don't know why it's saying that. Sarah says, I've been watching so many new things recently, and I've been having a blast. Two of those that I absolutely become obsessed with was Little Shop of Horrors and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, you know, Sarah, I said I wasn't too fond of it. The Chris Evans scene was amazing. That was hilarious. I wish he was in it for longer, because he was my favorite crazy character. But the movie for me was a bit too all over the place. And it's supposed to speak to us guys the most. But I found it weird. And that Culkin... that Culkin, by the way, was... he was creepy. The Culkin that was playing the gay character in there. Because... what was the name of the actress that is in that movie that is playing that guy's, the main character's sister? What was her name? Anna Kendrick, that was it. Anna Kendrick, she plays the main Michael Cera's sister in that movie. And when... I don't know what that Culkin does, but he turns her boyfriend's gay somehow. How do you... Now, this is where I feel like that character, that Culkin character, I feel like he has some secret power in that film. How is it? It wasn't Macaulay Culkin, Jess, it was his brother, another Culkin, so I'm just calling him Culkin. I was like, how did that guy go from being straight to all, and going out with Anna Kendrick, to all of a sudden becoming gay for a Culkin? I was like... You don't go from Anna Kendrick to all of a sudden being gay. I actually think it's the other way around. And I was like, there's only one possible. And then when she goes again, she says to that Culkin, I was like, okay, if this happened not once but twice, I swear that Culkin has superpowers in that show. He keeps staring at her boyfriends, and then they become gay somehow. I swear he has some kind of power in that, because I was thinking that is ridiculous. We'll talk about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Sarah says, also, Eric, that guy could have just been bisexual. He could have, but I don't know. It feels like the way they were setting it up is that he was a straight dude, and then that happened. What really made, like you said, Sarah, he could have been bi, but that's not... Do you know what made me not think that that's the case? Is that she says, again? So I was like, oh, wait, again? So I'm like, either... By your point, either both the guys she went out with were bi, but even if they were, that means they're into girls too, so how would they go from her to him? I thought that was like... It's like he must have some kind of evil staring power. Like, if they wrote that into a sequel or something, I would not be surprised. Yeah, Sarah, that was crazy. She goes, I mean, there are literally vegan powers. I could believe it. Yeah, that kind of made me... I was like, I swear there was something going on here. And they never went beyond that. They never did. Let's see. Another $2 donation from Kevin, who says, Can Willis be scared if he slapped Arnold? Sorry for last $2. Don't worry about it, buddy. I get what you're doing now, so you can keep doing as much of these as you want. I don't mind. I get it now. I think Willis could be scared if he slapped Arnold, but then again, Arnold is quite old now, isn't he? But then again, Willis is also quite old, and he's going through some stuff now as well, so, yeah. Elite says, did you react to the Invincible Season 3 trailer yet? Not really, because you guys have seen, if you were on Patreon, you'll have seen how I was really not into what they did with Season 2. I did not like the break in between, like the 4-month break. Now, they made a trailer where they talked about that. Oh, can Will Smith be scared if he slapped Arnold Schwarzenegger? Oh, of course he would. The only reason Will Smith slapped Chris Rock is because he was an easy target. But if it was some muscle dude up there, he would have sat in his seat. He would have. In the words of what Johnny would say in Cobra Kai, he would have just sat down like a pussy. I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai, so there you go. But yeah, he would have been, he would have been soft at that point. He would have been as soft as a baby's butt. But instead, yeah, he did decide to go up there to hit Chris Rock because he was an easy target. Hey Eric, are you excited for Jurassic World 4 next year? But going back to that, not really. It needs to give me a reason to be excited, I'd say. Going back to Invincible, I've not done a trailer reaction. I don't know if I will. I saw the trailer already for myself, but I don't think it's trailer reaction worthy. When it comes out, I'll cover it. I'll try to. But it's not something that I'm going to rush out to give a watch, if you know what I mean. I'll probably just watch that for myself, because I've done a Let's Watch of it on Patreon. I mean, I guess I could do a Let's Watch again. We'll see what happens closer to the time. DC09 says, hey Eric, could you do a versus video of Willy Wonka versus Wonka 2023? It's not on my list of my to-do list. I don't know. I don't know if I would, because I still haven't seen the movie, the Wonka movie. So, yeah. I mean, again, if you want to commission it, then I will. It'll be on my list, and it will be on my list much sooner than me reviewing it on my own. It's like I don't even know if I will review it. But if you do a commission, then it will definitely be on my list. It'll be something that I'll be going through and I'll definitely do. But not right now, I don't think. It's not something. DC09 said that's okay. Okay, that's no problem then. Just so long as you heard what my answer, that's good. Joshua says, Eric, I was asking you, are you going to do a video on The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, and do you have plans on seeing it? I really don't, but I was thinking about it. That's where I am, I'm thinking about it. All depends on what my schedule is. Like I say, your donations help because that's a lot of movies I gotta see, and that costs a lot of money to see that amount of movies, because I'm gonna have to see Craven because people want me to see it. I'm also gonna see Sonic 3, I'm gonna see Mufasa, I'm gonna see that Lord of the Rings movie is another potential one. So that's a lot of it piles up to costing a lot to see these movies. So that's why your donations help. And yes, I will try to see them, because I said to you guys I'm going to try to do more reviews, but I'm going to try my best. Jess says, no Eric, not Mufasa, it's going to suck. I still have to review the movie, buddy. Ooh, Lex Green has asked a very good question. Let me write this down. He says, what's a polarizing movie you personally love? A polarizing movie that I personally love? I like X-Men 3. Ever since I was young, I always liked X-Men 3. I never hated... I don't think it's the greatest of those X-Men movies, but I don't think it's the worst either. I never quite understood why people hate it so much. I think some characters could have had better ways out, like, better death scenes and stuff, but I still liked it. I didn't love it, but I really like it. Spider-Man 3 is a movie that I appreciate more and more, as time goes on. And I remember the first Ghost Rider. That's a guilty pleasure for me. I don't really have many guilty pleasure movies where people talk about, what's your guilty pleasure film? I don't really have any. It's not a thing that I really enjoy. I don't enjoy bad movies, per se. But I did really like Ghost Rider, the first one. The extended, the director's cut one. I really enjoyed that. So that's why I was looking very forward to watching the second movie in theaters. And IGN gave it like a 4.5 out of 5 or something, and I was like, oh wow. And they said that it's a great movie and I can't wait to see it again, they said. So I almost went to the cinema to see it for that reason. And then we saw the movie and it was a complete utter piece of crap. In fact, you can't even find that IGN review anymore, and that made me never trust IGN when it came to movie reviews. At the time, they were pretty good with game reviews, so I used to listen to their opinions there, but now we all know where IGN is when it comes to game reviews. They're pathetic. But very good question, Lex Green. Very good question. Do movie theaters in the UK do special popcorn buckets like they did with Dune 2 and Deadpool Wolverine? Well, I tried to go there and get a popcorn bucket of Deadpool Wolverine when I went to go see the movie, and unfortunately it wasn't. So they didn't have it. So, no, unfortunately, sad to say. At least the theater that I went to. Who knows, maybe another one did have it, but not ours. They just had the regular, like, popcorn buckets or, like, the drink cups with the poster of those two on it, you know, the movie poster, but nothing like those popcorn buckets, which was a shame. Jess says, Eric, do you want Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider? No. I don't know what's happened to Keanu Reeves, but from John Wick 4 onwards, he's become a very bad actor. Like in John Wick 1, people said that Keanu Reeves has come back as an actor, like he's good again. And I agree, he did. He did come back. He was very good. Watch my John Wick versus video. I talk all about it. But in the fourth one, he just lost it. Like, I don't know what happened, but he just completely lost it. It was insane how bad of an actor he was in there. And even when you look at it, the lines he's saying as John Wick in that spin-off movie, that ballerina movie, his line reads don't sound great there either. His line reads also in as Shadow, there are some good line reads, but then there are some that are just not that great either. So yeah, you know, something's off with his delivery lately. I don't know why. Sarah says, Eric, have you watched The Umbrella Academy? I personally love it. The final 2 seasons ruined it for me, but you know. I've not seen it. I was going to at first, but it's one of those things where Netflix were releasing so many shows at the time, it felt like I was just not going to be able to keep up. And I did not keep up. And I hear, as it went on, it got bad, I hear. So it's one of those shows where I just don't want to bother if it gets bad, really. Joshman says, Eric, I was asking you a question. What is the main reason you want to see Mufasa? And do you think it's going to be an absolute disaster for Disney? That was the question I was asking. The reason I want to watch it is it's a new movie. It's a Disney movie. Because of that, I'm going to have to review it for you guys. I said I want to try getting more movie reviews out there. So that's why I'm seeing it. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go see it. I don't know. I think it looks like a pointless movie. They should have made it animated rather than CGI, you know, like trying to make it look real. I really don't like the look of it. I don't like the look of the movie. I don't like the idea of the story of Mufasa and Scar not being blood brothers, but like Mufasa being, I think, was adopted into it or something? Some weird shit like that. I'm like, why? That's ridiculous. It takes away from the overall story, I think, and the relationship between the characters by not making them blood brothers. So yeah, I don't like that they're doing that. And I really think that's a problem. But we'll have to see. I'll see the movie and let you guys know. Trevor says, how would you rate these movies? V for Vendetta and Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I've seen one Monty Python movie. I don't know if it was the Holy Grail, though. Biggest Dickus, when they talk about that, was that the Holy Grail or was that another Monty Python movie? Let me know, Trevor, then I'll let you know. Then I'll tell you about that. V for Vendetta, though, was a great movie. I have to watch it again because I can't remember my score, but it might have been an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Let's see. That was Life of Brian, Sarah. Okay, then yes, I've not seen the Holy Grail in that case. Okay, so yeah, I have not seen the Holy Grail, so I can't say. And Sarah does say, I think you'd honestly like The Umbrella Academy. 1 was amazing. Season 2 was probably the best. Season 3 was alright. Don't bother with 4. Okay, interesting. But I don't know. I've dropped off of a lot of shows that started out great, then got bad. Look at Arrow and look at The Flash, for example. So I don't know if I want to do more of that. I want to watch shows now that I know I can stick with and that they seem like they are better to stick with rather than shows that started off good but then had no proper fulfilling ending. I don't want to sit through those, really. Let's see. I just missed that comment there. Source Fear says, I feel like I'm the only person on this planet who hasn't seen a single John Wick movie. Probably. I don't know. But they should be on Netflix, I think. So give them a look over there. Sarah says, I get that. I'm capable of just watching a show and stopping in the middle and never feeling the need to continue. So it's different for all of us. I used to be like that, but I feel like now, that this is back when TV was a thing. But now that we've gotten to the age of streaming, I feel like there's a better way to analyze whether a show is going to stick around for a long time or not. And I don't like sticking with shows now that don't have a long future, or at least don't have a conclusion in their future. So yeah. For example, that Superman and Lois show, I really don't care to see that because it seems very CW from what I've heard. But a lot of people are telling me I should see it, and I hear it's now had an ending, and it's had like a proper conclusion. So that is a show that originally I was like, no way. But now I'm like, you know what? If I got spare time, maybe I will. Mr. P, it's one of my favourite movies of all time. It's hilarious. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, is that what you're talking about? Okay, I'll try to watch that movie at some point. Sarah even says, watch Holy Grail, it's amazing. Jess says, Eric, Sonic 3 has the Sonic characters with emotion and more photorealistic, unlike Mufasa 2024. I don't know if Sonic is photorealistic. I mean, that's what they were trying to do originally with the original design, and we all hated it. They make it look more cartoony, which is what we want, with some real textures to it. Good Time says, what if Sonic 3 ends with Sonic and team leaving Earth and moving to Green Hill Zone from the games, or would it be okay if they stay on Earth? I don't mind either. I wished before that they went to Green Hill Zone, but seeing what they're doing, the scale of what they're able to do now on Earth, that we're seeing in the Sonic 3 trailer, again, you can see my trailer reaction on Patreon and YouTube memberships, I was really impressed by what you could see that they were actually able to do on Earth. So now I think we've gotten to a place where, you know what, I don't mind. Put them on the facility, put them in the streets at night. It just looks so beautiful to see them running around there. I really don't mind it no more. I did before, but they do a lot with it now, I think. So yeah, I'm fine with it. Eric, got to go. See you next week. Had a fun stream, said Deadwolf. No problem, buddy. Take care. Thanks for joining the stream. My voice is getting really sore. My throat is getting really sore. Sarah says, I could never really get into Arcane. Eric, have you watched it? Should I try to get into it more? I'll say this, Sarah. Watch the first 3 episodes of Arcane, Season 1. And then let me know what you think. That's all I'll say. Watch the first 3 episodes because they remind me of a classic Disney movie from the 90s, like Aladdin. A little bit of Aladdin is mixed in there. But it's for the first 3 episodes, and as well as being a Disney movie like Aladdin, it's got a little bit of a darker edge to it. That's all I'll say. Watch it with the first 3. It feels like if DreamWorks did Aladdin, but with some other kids in there. Watch the first 3 episodes, Sarah. Watch the first 3. And if you're into it by then, great, you can continue. If you're not, then just stop right there. And by the way, the credits, Sarah, in episode 3, Netflix is going to most likely say... That's new, isn't it? Netflix is most likely going to say to you that... do you want to skip to, watch the next episode? Ignore watch the next episode, click watch credits, because in the 3rd episode, there's actually a really... I'm not going to describe what the song is, but the song fits perfectly the tone of what you just see before the episode ends. So yeah, that's my recommendation to you. Watch the first 3 episodes, enjoy the beautiful animation that took so long for them to do. This is before Spider-Verse, I think. Was it before Spider-Verse? Because I think this animation, really, people were impressed with it. So, in the same way they were with Spider-Verse. So yeah, basically watch that, and then let me know what you think. Everyone else in the chat who has seen it, I'm sure they know what I'm talking about. Do you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen Arcane? And also, Khan, I've not seen season 2 yet of Arcane. I just finished watching Cobra Kai recently. Now I'm going through Cobra Kai again. I'm kind of obsessed with Cobra Kai. I really think I need to get through all of it in order to move on with my life more right now. Because I just want to quickly go back to watching more with a green tea in my hand and stuff, you know. So yeah. But I'm very busy right now, so I haven't got time to watch shows. I need to watch movies. That's the next thing I need to watch, so I can get prepared for my best and worst of list. No, Khan, I've not seen season 2 yet. I've answered your question on that already. I still need to see it. Alex has done a £1.57 donation through Streamlabs. Thank you very, very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. He says, I've been watching your videos since 2018 and really appreciated your perspective in films, mostly superhero flicks. You have hot takes, but that's what makes them interesting. Also, have you seen any anime? If so, what's your favorite? Oh, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that you've been watching me for 6 years now, approaching 7. So you are a very long time subscriber. Thank you very, very much. Uh, yeah, hot takes are what my criticisms I think on the MCU, but a lot of people have those criticisms now, so I was kind of ahead of it. Like, I got sick and tired of the Marvel cliches before everyone else got sick and tired of them. I think is the best way to kind of like see that. Um, but I'm glad that's what made them interesting to you with my hot takes. And have I seen any anime? If so, what's my favorite? Uh, I've seen a lot of anime growing up. Like when I was younger, I was watching anime and didn't even realize it. And then when the internet became a thing and people on the internet were exchanging thoughts on anime, I was like, what is this anime? I should watch some of that. And then I found out anime is just basically Japanese animation, which I've grown up watching tons of. I was like, oh, I've already been watching it. Okay. So yes, I watched Zoids Chaotic Sentry when I was a kid. Loved Zoids so much. Raven, Van, Zeke, Shadow. Oh, their Zoids had different names as well. They were so amazing. I loved that show as a kid. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I still have cards of my own. Let me see here. I don't know if this is my actual dueling deck. I've probably got it somewhere. But here are some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards right here. You can see there is Karibo. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to get cards when I was younger. And me and my brothers, now that we're older, we were able to go onto eBay and buy ourselves certain specific cards that we wanted to duel each other with. And it was a lot of fun. It was a really cool time. So yeah, as a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved Pokemon as a kid, which I've grown past now. But when I was a kid, I loved it. Yu-Gi-Oh! To me, absolutely loved it. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! That is one of my favorite shows of all time. Like, it really is. For the longest time, it was my #1 favorite show of all time for the longest time. And I still can watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Today and thoroughly enjoy it. Yu-Gi-Oh! I tried watching GX and 5Ds, but they were just not the same. It felt so wrong to call it Yu-Gi-Oh! And for Yugi not to be in it. I just missed Yugi and the rest of the characters so much. And the Pharaoh leaving in the end, that was the first time I cried watching a cartoon, and I tried to hide it. Every time I'd see that scene, I'd just cry. Like, it was so upsetting. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! So much, seriously. The Seal of Orichalcos as well. I've got a Seal of Orichalcos card. I wish I could show it to you, but I don't know where my deck is. My whole dueling deck. I guess I gotta find it. But I bought a fake Seal of Orichalcos card that looks like the one from the cartoon. Oh, have I found it? Is this it? Ooh, hold on, guys. Hold on. Yeah, I think this is it. I've got a bunch more cards here I just found. Give me a second. The Seal of Orichalcos was like one of the most epic cards that they would activate. It had one of the most catchiest themes as well. I remember when we would play the Seal of Orichalcos card, I would basically have the Seal of Orichalcos music ready on my phone. I'd press play as I would play the card. Oh, where did I put it? Have I moved it somewhere? I might have. I don't know. Ooh, I think I got it. Have I got it? Oh no, that's a different card. It's another fake card I've got, which looks like the ink is wearing out, it looks like. It's a card called Golden Castle of Stromberg. If you remember Siegfried, this was from that. This was. Yeah. Guys, Yu-Gi-Oh! That was my childhood. There's a lot of stuff that was my childhood, but man, Yu-Gi-Oh! In particular, that was something I loved so much, and my dad would watch it with me. Sarah says, Alex Green says, all that is really nostalgic. It really is, because we were very little kids when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a show that was brand new, that we were still watching. One episode a week, which in the UK we were not used to. Because the UK, for most of our kid cartoons, we would get them like a year after the US would get it. And the US, they would have to wait week after week to watch the episodes, whereas we would get like a new episode every single day except for the weekends. So that's what we had going on. It's a shame. Where is my Seal of Orichalcos? I want to show it to you guys. Where could it have gone? I know it was a bit of a card that would... Because of the material... Oh, there it is! Found it! I wish I could have play the music in front of you guys right now. By the way, Sarah, thank you very much. You're saying... Sarah says, Eric, you're about to be 30, but you look so young. I appreciate that. Thank you. How old do you think I look, by the way? Alright, guys. Are you ready for it? Now I activate... the Seal of Orichalcos. Look at that card. It hasn't got the thing that the other cards do, which is the little box that they're in. This looks like the actual animated card. I don't know if it's for the camera's focusing. And then I got the actual background as well from the card in the cartoon. Because what they do with the cards that you buy... The cards look like this on the back, even though this looks nothing like the cartoon. This is what the cartoon one looks like. And then when you turn them front side, they look like this, where they're in a small box, when normally the card is like that, you know, all full with the image and everything. With the attack points and stats at the bottom. But yeah, they made it different for some reason. Bizarre. Khan says, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, did you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series? The Abridged. You mean is the Abridged series when that guy does voiceover over it and makes it funny and stupid? That was funny. When he goes the Seal of Orichalcos and then he goes it's Orichalcamalos. Yeah, that was funny. My brothers got into that, then I started watching it. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I am very much aware of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Let me just put my cards back here. But yes, I am very much aware of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. But yeah, that's not the only anime I've seen. Alex, I've also watched Death Note. Love Death Note. I'm also watching Demon Slayer. I need to see the most recent season. I've not seen that yet, because again, super busy. But I need to watch that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And by the way, you guys are asking if I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. If it was in an English dub, I would have, but it wasn't. And it's weird to go from the English dub, where you associate these characters with those voices, to then go to the Japanese version. I will say, I did watch some of it, and boy, is it dark as shit. The Pharaoh actually kills people there, and sends them to the Shadow Realm. And the cards they have are not the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards we know, they're just playing cards. So it was weird watching Season 0, the bit of it that I did watch. Alex Green says a Demon Slayer movie trilogy is happening, by the way. I know. I heard of that a while back, that they were going to end it with that 3 movies. And my brother says it makes sense when you see the final season, the most recent season. He says it makes sense for it to continue in movie form. And I'm like, oh, okay. I've got 2 brothers. One of them has seen it. So now I just got to see it. Also, who loves the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie? The 2004 movie? I love that movie. The Pyramid of Light. It is a very... It's not made, I think, by the original creators, but man, you wouldn't really question it if you wouldn't really question it, because it seems like it was. Great movie. Loved that movie as well. The first Spider-Man game... Who said that? Did you end... Matthew, it's great to see you on the stream. It's okay if you didn't show up all the way. You're here now. That's what matters. Did you end up watching Titans? No, I watched season... I stopped at the end of season 2. Season 1 was pretty good. Season 2 was rubbish. Complete rubbish. Felt like a completely different creative team took over it. And then I didn't bother with the rest of the seasons after that. Good Time says, the first Spider-Man game I played was Spider-Man 2 on PS5. Should I play the first Spider-Man game on PS4? Yes. That game is so much better. Because it has much more interesting gadgets to use, which adds a strategic element to the game. I think the strategic element was really lost in Spider-Man 2, because you could just create any web line you wanted for yourself and just step over your victim, the villain, the thug, and then just web them up. You couldn't do it that easily with the previous game, because you couldn't create a web line for yourself like that. but now you can anywhere. It's super easy. And yeah, the combat feels more brawler-like in Spider-Man 2, whereas it was more brawler and strategic in Spider-Man 1. So I much prefer the game Spider-Man 1. Let me just say that to you right now. Spider-Man 1 was a much better game than Spider-Man 2. Gregory says, what's a movie you didn't like at first but then grew to like? I have several. That's a very good question, Gregory. Which did I not like? Ooh, let me think. Cloverfield. Cloverfield is a movie that I hated when it came out. Matt Reeves directed it. I hated that movie the first time I saw it because I was like, I want to see the monster. I want to see monster destruction and everything, but we didn't get to see it. They kept shaking the camera, focusing on the humans and everything. I didn't like it. However, now that we've had all these Godzilla movies coming out, like the Godzilla vs. Kong, and we had Godzilla, King of the Monsters and all that, and then the Kong Skull Island movie, I was like, you know what? I've had my fill now of watching these monsters fight. And then I thought, let's go back to Cloverfield now, because now I've got my fix. I'm not going into that movie expecting monster action where the monster is fighting other monsters or fighting the military like in the 98 Godzilla movie. So I thought, all right, let's give it a try now. And I really loved it. Because I wasn't going in expecting monster action like I was when I saw it the first time. I went in and I was expecting something different, and I actually really appreciated it and enjoyed it. And I watched it in 4K on my projector, which is far better of an experience. Even though the movie's found footage, you think it would be better on a television screen or something? It actually isn't. It's better on a projector screen. So if ever that movie goes in theaters, I'd recommend you guys watch it and sit close to the screen so you get a big experience, a big screen experience watching it. Ethan's Drawing says, which movie do you think does better at telling a multiverse story, or which multiverse movie do you like the most? I'd say the multiverse of, not multiverse of madness, heck no. I would say the Spider-Verse movies do a great job with the multiverse. You don't question it, you understand it, makes sense, you want to keep watching more, and we all can't wait for the next one. So I'd say the Spider-Verse movies does the best job. After that, what does the best job was the DC animated shows. Like, I remember Batman, the Justice League animated series did a multiverse thing at a point, where Batman sees future Batman and they meet Batman Beyond and stuff. So that was cool. We also see the Flash show. I remember did the multiverse, the CW one. In the first few seasons, it actually did a good job of the multiverse. It was very easy to understand. It was exciting. It was interesting. You wanted to watch more of that, and then eventually they just screwed it up. I think with season 4 onwards, it was like just becoming messy. But yeah. Oh, Alex has done another super Streamlabs chat. Thank you for the Streamlabs chat, buddy. It's a £1.18 Streamlabs chat. He says, if you have any downtime, I recommend A Silent Voice, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and Look Back. I think you'll really like them. Alright, let me put that down on my notes. Give me a second. I'll start making notes of these. Okay, so A Silent Voice. These are all movies, by the way, are they, Alex? Cyberpunk Edge Runners and Look Back. All right. Come on, where's the format? Oh, there we go. So I'll write these down in future. Alex Green, thank you for clearing that up for me. He says Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a 10-episode show and a silent voice and look back on movies. Okay, thank you for that. I thought the Cyberpunk one might be a show because I could have sworn I heard of a Cyberpunk show some time back. Okay, there we go. I've got that categorized in shows. Movies / shows to watch. Save. There we go. I've made notes of them. Anyone else has any recommendations? I'll make note of them there too. Alright. Have you seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side Dimensions yet? Yes, I have. I saw that in the theatre. Me and my brothers went. We got a goodie bag as well. They gave us a goodie bag. I still have it somewhere, but it's buried underneath those Harry Potter books somewhere, so I don't want to take it out just yet. But yes, I did. I actually got the goodie bag in there still, and it came with an Obelisk the Tormentor card as well. Filmmaker Steven says, are you going to be invited to a convention someday, Eric? I don't know. I don't know if my audience is big enough to actually go to a convention. But, hey, if someone invites me, then yeah, sure. I just need to get more of an audience here. Then I think something like that could work out. Gregory says, what's the most disappointing third movie in a trilogy? For me, it would be Dark Knight Rises. Third entry in a trilogy, most disappointing. I know there's got to be some that I should be thinking of. Ooh. Shrek 3. Thank you, G Gamer. I really don't like Shrek 3. That's a perfect one to drop in there. Not Spider-Man 3, Khan. I actually like Spider-Man 3 more as the years go by. I never hated Spider-Man 3. But yeah, Shrek 3. Boy, was that a bad one. Like, really bad. A lot of the jokes didn't work. The jokes that were good on paper, the execution wasn't good. The trailer did some of the jokes better because it was paced better than the jokes were in the movie. A lot of bad things in that way. Alex Green says, even as a kid, Shrek 3 came and went in my mind. Yeah, but unfortunately it didn't leave my mind. I still remember how bad it was. I didn't like it as a kid. I still don't like it now. And that little kid, Artie, that they brought in, I hated his character. Joshman says, I was asking you, do you know when you're going to be uploading your Versus videos on Puss in Boots on YouTube? Probably in January. Because I'm finishing up Moana this month. I'm also still working on Puss in Boots as well. And I've also got a Sonic video coming up. And I've got some Let's Watches coming up as well. So I'm trying to do all of that this month. And I also have to watch a bunch of movies to get ready for my top 5 best and worst movies of the year. So my month is really full. I don't even know if I can get all of this done in that time. But Puss in Boots I'm working on simultaneously. The script is all finished. The voiceover is all done. I've edited about half the voiceover, so I've got the other half to edit as well. And then there's all this other stuff going on too. So yeah, a lot of work is basically going on behind the scenes here. But yeah, Puss in Boots, the Versus video, progress is actually happening on that. Like, the script is done. That's all behind me now. It's all down to editing and stuff. So, yeah. Jess says, I like Shrek 4, but it's not the best. I still like Shrek 4 as well. I thought it was very good. Jess says, have you typed a comment a long time ago to IGN about Fantastic? I can't remember. It was such a long time ago. If you think I have, send me the link to the video and I'll take a look. It should have my name on it. That's alright, Crazy Gamer. If you like it, that's no problem at all. Guys, we'll have 5 more minutes, then I'll end the stream. So if you got any questions you really want to get out there, now's the time for your Super Chats and Streamlabs chats. So I see it straight away. Otherwise, just post it. I'll try my best to go through them. But I get a lot of questions, so it's tricky. Joshman says, Eric, I was asking you, do you think Mufasa is going to be on your worst of list? And are you going to be doing a video in your car? Upload it on YouTube. That was another question I was asking you. I don't know if Mufasa is going to be on my worst of list. We'll have to see. who knows? It could just be a mediocre movie that doesn't end up on any list. So we'll see about that. Um, are you going to be doing a video in your car? I'll try to. I'll see. It depends what my schedule is. The whole idea of doing the reviews in the car was to get reviews out to you that I otherwise would not be able to do. So that's the whole idea behind doing it in the car. So there's less editing involved. I can shoot it, and that makes it easier. Basically, it's meant to be a bit more of a scrappily put together kind of video. So yeah. Andrew Edits, what in your opinion is the best animated feature winner? I don't know what animated movies have come out this year. I can't remember. Give me some names of what came out this year, and then I'll let you know, because it depends if I've seen them. And time flies by, I kind of lose track. The Wild Robot, I've not seen that yet. I've not seen Transformers 1 yet either. But I will watch that live on YouTube here. For YouTube members. So become a YouTube member if you want to see that live when I do watch it with you guys. But I've not seen it, and I'm going to. Inside Out 2. Yes, I saw that. You guys saw my Versus video for Inside Out 2. I wasn't overly fond. I didn't hate it. But I did think that there was something about it that felt a bit straight to video about it to me. Straight to video Disney movie. Which is not surprising considering they did do that for Moana 2. I've not seen Dune 2, but I intend to before this month closes out. Rohan says, are you going to release the cut of the Wild Robot in Transformers 1 on YouTube? You mean like I did with Moana? I will, but it will take a heck of a long time. So if you want to watch the full version and watch it so much earlier, head on over to Patreon or YouTube memberships and you'll see it there. To edit that down takes longer, and I have to edit it down in my spare time. Sarah says, I'm going to head out, Eric. Going to finish some homework. Wish me luck. Bye, guys. Good luck, Sarah. I know you can do it. Very smart, very talented. You can do that. You can get it done. I believe in you. We all do on this chat. Right, guys? Yes, Movie King, I did see that trailer. I hope the new Harry Potter show flops, says Wolverine51. Joshman says, Eric, I definitely heard that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is possibly outpacing, and it could possibly make #1 at the box office, outbeating Mufasa. That does not surprise me, because a lot of people have been putting polls out saying, what are you going to watch, Mufasa on the day it comes out, or Sonic 3 on the day it comes out? And everyone is saying that they're going to go see Sonic 3. Like, they completely outbeat Mufasa on the poll. So yeah, it's going to beat Mufasa for sure. And then guess what comes out for Disney? See you later, Elite. This might be the last time I call you that, so I'm going to enjoy it. Take care, Elite. What was I saying? Oh. Eric, are you excited for Superman Legacy, and will you do Superman Legacy versus Man of Steel? I haven't decided on that yet. We'll have to see. I'll try. We'll see what I do. So yeah, Sonic, it seems like Sonic is going to beat Mufasa. What's funny is that Mufasa is not going to do as good, and then after that we're going to get the Captain America Brave New World, which is also not going to do so good, and then we're going to get Snow White after that. That'll be another thing that's not going to do so good. So that'll be 3 Disney projects in a row that are going to not do, either underperform or completely flop. So yeah. Jess says, I'm going to see Craven on December 30. I hope you enjoy it, bud. I'll be watching it too around that time. Now they're doing a 5th Shrek movie, says Crazy Cat Lady. I think it's a good time to do another Shrek movie, honestly. I really do. Alright, 1 minute, guys. Get your questions in there. If you want me to see it immediately, you gotta do it on the Streamlabs chat or Super Chat. Otherwise, you're gonna have to... It's at the will of what I see, basically, through this scrolling list here. Oh, Khan, your birthday is coming up next Sunday. Oh, well... If it is, that means I can wish you a happy birthday on the day of your birthday. So I won't say it just yet, because I'll actually be able to say it to you on the day. See you next week, the goat. I hope gave you like a proper answer to your question. Alex Green, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for the donations and for the great questions. Take care, buddy. I hope to see you on the next week's stream. Big Bash says, what was your favourite episode of the Justice League animated series? The one where Hawkgirl turns on all of them. And it's like, I think it was a 2-parter or 4-parter. I can't remember what parter it was. That was a really great conclusion. And for Hawkgirl to be a traitor, That was a big surprise, that was. Okay, everyone, I think we're about to close out now, I think. Give me a second. Yeah, I think we'll call it quits there. So it was an absolute pleasure talking to all of you. I had an absolutely wonderful time, as always. I love talking to all you guys. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your Streamlabs donations. You know I really appreciate those. And thanks to Super Michael 98 for becoming a Patreon member, and being the first to gain access to my quick TV show reviews. And I'll be reviewing a Zack Snyder show that he wanted me to review. So, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy that when it comes along. Big thanks to Super Michael 98. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week coming up. And yeah, with that said, guys, thank you very much as always, and I will catch all of you very soon. Take care.